Good evening. What's your name? Okay, jail needs to unmute, please. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Ray Medina, sir. Your Honor.
Oh, thank you. Okay. All right, Pima County Justice Court, you're charged with shoplifting and with possession of drug paraphernalia. We'll order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't have contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. $250 bond on appointing attorney William Parvin to represent you. You're going to be seen on Tuesday, the 13th. You've got a bunch of city court matters.
Some of them I don't even think they're mine, Your Honor.
Well, we'll see. Let's see. This one is from November 2nd. You were charged with disorderly conduct and trespassing. July 9th of last year, you were charged with criminal trespass, possession of drug paraphernalia, and failure to appear in court. August 14th of last year, criminal trespass, possession of drug paraphernalia, failure to appear in court. August 14th, criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, failure to appear in court. August 19th, criminal trespass, possession of drug paraphernalia, and failure to appear. September 28th of last year, possession of drug paraphernalia and failure to appear. September 17th of this year, criminal trespass, failure to appear. Let's see, this one is from, it's kind of faded out. It was from last year though. Assault, no injury, and failure to appear. Oh, and disorderly conduct. And this was July 21st of last year, criminal trespass, possession of drug paraphernalia, and failure to appear in court. So, given your failures to appear, history of not coming to court, bond is set at 300. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't have contact with any alleged victims. Stay away from all the incident locations. The city public defender is appointed to represent you on these cases. Video review is scheduled for November 19th at 1:45.
Well, when's the court date?
November 19th, at 1:45. It's a video review. It may be continued to a non-transport, and that would be December 16th, 9 o'clock. You're excused.
What's gonna happen? I don't even understand.
You're gonna go get paperwork and then we'll explain everything.
Something.
Good evening, Your Honor. This is the Spanish interpreter.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I did not get a list for tonight's initials. Are there any Spanish speakers?
Thank you. At least one,
We have two, Your Honor.
two. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Hello. What's your name?
Clarice Mendoza.
All right. You have a pending case of domestic violence assault with domestic violence disorderly conduct. And you have a history of not coming to court. The last time you in this court was October 17th.
Yes, sir. I had COVID.
Okay. Trespassing and resisting arrest. Also a history of not coming to court. This is before the last court date. You didn't come to court then either. Drug paraphernalia from October of last year, failure to appear in court. Trespassing and failure to appear. This is from May of this year. Another domestic violence assault. This one is from June, August of this year.
What was that one?
Domestic violence assault, driving under the influence. This one is from August 31st.
I didn't have a domestic violence in August. Last time no, but I'm serious. I haven't had one since a few years. I think it was just a
What's
failure
your
to
first name? What's your first name?
Clarice
Your middle name?
Dean.
No, it's your name on here. August 30th of this year, criminal damage, domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, disorderly conduct.
Oh, there must be failure to appear.
August 30th, yeah, failure to appear. Liquor
Okay.
in vehicle passenger compartment and drug paraphernalia. So you had an attorney representing you, and if you were
I did not have any
excuse
information.
me, ma'am, let me finish. If you were sick, you had COVID, you should have notified your attorney. You didn't. Bond is set at 2,500. All previous conditions of release remain in effect, and the Grinkovich Law Firm is reappointed to represent you. Video review, November 19th, 1:45. You're excused. Oh, these are all yours. Okay. Hello, what's your name?
Turquoise Pret,
Okay, I couldn't hear you.
Turquoise Pret.
Thank you. All right. So you are charged with domestic violence assault with intent or knowingly causing injury, domestic violence disorderly conduct, domestic violence preventing or interfering with the use of a telephone in an emergency. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Ramon Pina. Stay away from his home and workplace, except that you get a one-time return visit with a law enforcement officer to get your belongings. Don't commit any acts of domestic violence.
I work in the same job as he does.
Well, you're gonna have to stay away from him then. And you are released with those conditions. Your court date is December 17th at 1:30.
Yep.
Do you work in the same office or?
Yes, we got the same team manager. So
Well, I'm not gonna stop you from working together. If you have to have contact with him at work, you may do so. Otherwise, the rest of this remains in effect. Don't go to his home, stay away from,
He lives he lives in the same apartment I live in.
well, that's too bad. You get a one-time visit with a law enforcement escort to get your belongings. You can have contact at work, not any place else. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Heather Smothers, sir.
All right, you're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence criminal damage. Will order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. Don't possess any firearms or other weapons. Do not have contact of any kind with Isaac Smothers and stay away from his home and workplace. You get a one-time return with a police escort to get your belongings. You are released with these conditions. Your court date at Tucson City Court is December 17th at 1:30. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Francisco.
Your Honor, this is the Spanish speaker.
Okay. Francisco, what's the rest of your name?
Francisco, ¿cuál es el resto de su nombre?
Francisco Iroel Gastelum Nevares.
Francisco Irael Gastelum Nevares.
All right, sir. You have a fugitive warrant out
Tiene una orden de aprehensión como fugitivo
of Colorado.
de Colorado.
And let's see if there's an amount listed on here.
Vamos a ver si hay una cantidad puesta aquí.
The charge is possession of cocaine.
El cargo es posesión de cocaína.
Okay. $10,000.
$10,000.
All right, the legal defender is appointed to represent you. Bond is set at the requested $10,000. Your next review date is November 15th at 2:30. And again, you're going to be represented by the legal defender.
Le van a nombrar un abogado defensor. La fianza es de $10,000. Tendrá una audiencia de revisión el día 15 de noviembre a las 12:30.
You're excused.
¿Se puede retirar?
Hello, what's your name?
Francisco Gonzalez.
Okay, and this is our second Spanish speaker, I believe.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Me acusan de que toqué a una muchacha, pero yo no tuve.
I'm being accused that I touched a lady, but it's not true.
You're being accused, sir, of burglary. That's the warrant that you have out of New York City.
Señor, le hicieron un cargo de una orden de aprehensión de un cargo que tiene usted de allanamiento en la ciudad de Nueva York.
And,
Sí, pero fui a la corte y la que me acusó nunca se presentó.
Yes, but I went to court, but the person that accused me never showed up.
you have an immigration hold as well,
También tiene una detención de inmigración.
and I am gonna hold you on a $10,000 bond.
Lo voy a detener bajo una fianza de $10,000.
The legal defender is appointed to represent you.
Un abogado defensor será nombrado para que lo represente.
Any statements that you have to make should be made only to your attorney.
Y cualquier declaración que tengas que hacer, solamente hágale esa declaración a su abogado.
And your next court date is November 15th at 2:30.
Su próxima comparecencia será el 15 de noviembre a las 2:30.
You're excused.
Se puede retirar. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Any other Spanish speakers?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yes, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Hello. What-
My name is Mr. Ronald Barnes. Ronald Mike Barnes.
Okay, you have several matters. You have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court listing charges of dangerous drug violation, narcotic drug violation, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and also listing a bond of 500, which is what the county attorney is recommending. Is there any objection from the defense?
No,
Bond is set in the amount of $500. And is this the public defender that's appointed? Okay, the public defender is appointed. We're gonna order no alcohol or illegal drugs, don't return to the incident location. And your next court date is November 18th. And that will be at 1:30. You also have a couple of cases in Tucson City Court. Oh, wait a minute. Let me check something here. Pretrial services supervision if posted. You also have a couple cases in Tucson City Court. You were charged with trespassing on October 35th. And you have another charge of trespassing from September 18th. And you failed to appear on that older one. I'm gonna order that you not have contact with any alleged victims, stay away from the incident location. And no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm gonna release you from custody. I will note that you are being held on the felony. Your court date Tucson City Court is set for December 10th at 9 o'clock. And if you're still in custody, that'll be a non-transport review.
December 12th?
Your excuse.
Yes,
And at 9 o'clock. For stand up.
that sounds good.
Hello, what's your name?
Kyle Bailey.
Okay. Okay, you've got some felony charges, possession of narcotic, drug for sale, possession of narcotic, possession of drug paraphernalia, tampering with physical evidence. So we'll order no alcohol or drugs, don't return to the location of the alleged incident. The county attorney is asking me to hold you on a $25,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. And we'll hear from defense counsel.
Your Honor, he's lived in Tucson for 13 years and has ties to the community. He currently has a stable housing situation. He's willing to comply with any pretrial services, conditions of release, and show up to all of his court dates. I'd ask that the court set the bond at $5,000.
Okay. Let's hear from the state.
Your Honor, it looks like he's maxed out on both scales. Both his priors, he incurred probation violations. It looks like this is what I would deem a sizable amount of M30 fentanyl pills. The bag under the seat alone was 167.36 grams. And towards the end of the interim, law enforcement found additional larger bags, again, containing M30 fentanyl pills. So that's the basis for the state's recommendation.
All right, thank you. All right, bond is set in the amount of 25,000. The public defender is appointed. Your next court date is November 21st at 1:30. No alcohol or drugs, don't go back to the location. You also have a misdemeanor case or a warrant out of Oro Valley Town Court. The underlying charge is theft and possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting arrest. And we'll order no contact with victim, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm not gonna hold you on this one. I'm gonna release you. Court date is December 11th at 10 o'clock. That's at Oro Valley Municipal Court. If you're still in custody on the felony, they'll adjust it. You also have a couple of cases in Tucson City Court. You were charged with criminal trespass. This one is from April of last year. You failed to appear. and criminal trespass and possession of drug paraphernalia from May of last year. He failed to appear on that one as well. And on this one also, I'm gonna release you December. Wait a minute. No, we don't want to do the same date. This is failed. So I need an out of custody date other than December 11th.
Oops.
Let's do December 12th. 2 p.m.
All right, December 12th, 2:00 p.m. Tucson City Court. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Justin Hanson.
Let's see. All right, you've got several matters. Felony charges or possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And the state has moved to dismiss without prejudice. Okay, case dismissed without prejudice. It could be refiled at a future date. Moving on, you have an arrest warrant out of Marana Municipal Court. Listed charges are shoplifting, possession of drugs in a drug-free zone, and failure to appear in court. So we'll order no alcohol or drugs, don't return to the incident location. Before we go on any further, you also have several cases in Tucson City Court as well. You seem to have a history of not coming to court. So before I decide what I want to do with these cases, tell me why you missed court. And what you can do to correct that situation.
I could make sure that I know my court dates and plan on.
Did you do that before? Did you make sure that you knew the court dates?
No, I just lost track of everything.
How'd that happen?
I lost the paperwork and everything, and I didn't have a phone, but now I have a phone and I get all the charges and everything right here tonight and see what paperwork is, what the dates are, and where they're at.
Okay. All right, I'll take a chance and release you. Marana court date is going to be December 11th at 10 a.m. No alcohol or drugs, don't go back to the location. The Tucson City Court dates are going to be, and these conditions are pretty much the same. No alcohol or drugs, don't go back to the location, no contact with victims. And let me see, one of these is possession of narcotic paraphernalia. That's from last year. Prescription only drug use, trespassing and possession of drug paraphernalia. That's from August of this year. Drug paraphernalia, trespassing, from September of this year. Drug paraphernalia trespassing from August of this year. So these also, every one of these cases has failures to appear. I'm gonna release you. No contact with victims, no alcohol or drugs. And don't go back to any of the locations. December 16th, 2:30 is your court date. Make sure you keep track of everything. These are in different courts. Tucson City Court is in downtown Tucson. Marana Municipal Court is in West Civic Center Drive, Marana. If I see you again with these failures to appear, you can plan on spending a few days there at the jail. You're excused.
Thank you.
Louis,
Oh. Mhm. Hello, what's your name?
Michael A. Lewis.
Michael A. Lewis, okay, thank you. So you're charged with domestic violence, criminal damage under $2,000. Or, no, actually, that's greater than $2,000. So I'm gonna order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, don't have contact of any kind with Lula Ann Lewis, stay away from her home and workplace. Don't possess any firearms or other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And let's see. Somewhere in here, there's a recommendation. Yes. The state recommends $30,000 with pretrial services supervision if posted. We'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, the pretrial services report indicated that separate housing from the victim hadn't been confirmed. But I did confirm with him that he has his own place. They do not live together. The interim complaint itself also indicates that they live separately. So he has a place to return to and is absolutely willing to have no further contact with her. He's also disabled. He's had a lot of neck and back issues and surgeries. So he's unfortunately unable to work, but he does get Social Security and can support himself, and disability and can support himself. I did note that he is on probation out of Texas. However, he reports that he's in good standing on his probation. He has permission to be here from Texas probation, and I don't see anything that indicates to the contrary. I would ask the court to consider release to pretrial services. This wasn't an incident where somebody got hurt. If the court's inclined to impose a bond, I'd ask that it be $5,000.
Okay, we'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, I would just note he's only been here for 3 weeks. He appears to be on felony probation, as defense counsel said, out of Texas for a DV strangulation type of offense. And the Form 4C does indicate a high risk. The pretrial report doesn't notate who that victim is, but I probably have a good idea who that might be. Nonetheless, it is, again, another DV offense, so that's the basis for the state's requested bond.
All right, sir. All right, I also note you seem to have a really long history of crime, sir. So I'm gonna honor the state's request, 30,000, with the other conditions that I read to you. November 21st, 1:30 is your next court date. The public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Dean Silva.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Dean Silva. Dean Silva.
I'm still not understanding what he's saying.
Dean Silva.
Ah, Dean Silva, okay. Thank you. Here we go. Okay, Mr. Silva, you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court. The charges listed are dangerous drug violation, narcotic drug violation, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Listing a $500 bond, which the state is also recommending. Any objection from the defense?
No.
Okay. No alcohol or drugs. Don't go back to the incident locations. And $500 bond. Your court date is November 18th at 1:30. Pretrial services supervision, if that bond is posted. The public defender is appointed to represent you. You also have a couple of misdemeanor cases in Tucson City Court. You were charged November 11th, that's today, with possession of drug paraphernalia. And you were charged back in June of this year with criminal trespass. You failed to appear at your arraignment session in June, and you failed to appear October 28th for pretrial. I will note that you are being held on your felony. I'm not going to hold you on the misdemeanors. Don't go back to the incident locations, and no contact with victims, and no alcohol or illegal drugs.
Being released.
On the misdemeanors, you are being released. On the felony, you are not released unless you post the $500 bond. Your court date on the misdemeanor case is at City Court, December 11th, 2:00 p.m. You're excused. These are yours. Hello, what's your name?
Luis Carlos Malavecchia Olvera.
Okay. Okay, you're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct with a weapon, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You're no order, no alcohol or illegal drugs, don't commit any acts of domestic violence, and do not possess any firearms or other weapons. You're not to have contact of any kind with Monique Pina, and stay away from her home and workplace. And the county attorney is recommending that I set bond in the amount of $50,000. And we will hear from with pretrial services supervision, if posted, we'll hear from defense counsel.
Your Honor, in regard to the drug paraphernalia charge, I would ask the court to consider probable cause. I don't know if I'm missing another page, or something, but I didn't see any statement of probable cause, regarding drug paraphernalia. In regard to
Well,
the,
let me look at this, okay? Just a minute. Okay, I'll hear the state on the issue of probable cause for the drug paraphernalia.
And they're on stating what the item is, but that's not going to change our recommendation.
Okay. Any objection to dismissing the drug paraphernalia then
No, that's fine, Judge.
without prejudice? Okay.
Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident of Tucson with ties.
Hold on, let me do this first. Okay, he's a lifelong, you were.
Lifelong resident of Tucson, and has ties to the community. He's currently employed full-time and he's really worried about losing his job. The pretrial services report indicated that the victim doesn't object to his release. He has a 4-year-old son and he's very involved in his son's life. He would like to be released to pretrial services. If the court's inclined to impose a bond, I'd ask that it be $5,000.
You say he's involved in his son's life. Is the victim in this case the mother of that son?
I do not know.
No, she's not the mother of my child.
All right. We'll hear from the county attorney on the matter of the bond.
Your Honor, the reason for the high bond is he's on, it looks like what I see is a probation tail. So he did prison, came out on a probation tail for an extremely violent offense. And here he is on a probation committing another very concerning, very dangerous violent offense. So that would be the basis for the high bond recommendation.
You know, that's. Is that right? Say something. Your Honor, it's all right if I say something?
I
Sorry,
would
for me.
recommend that you not say anything unless you run it by your attorney first.
Yeah, I did earlier. We had a little conversation earlier. But I just want to say something that's I feel like it's very, no, I've been working. I mean, I got my son. Just started working. I got this landscaping job. He paid this Friday. And me and my first check. I'm trying. I'm not gonna speak on too much. I just want to say that, you know what I mean? It was nothing.
All right.
It was. No, Your Honor, I was saying that I'm not a violent person, Your Honor. I have been trying to do better. I do have this job. I have been trying to take care of my son, be in my son's life. This situation, like I said, I'm not gonna speak. I'm not.
You tell me that you're not a violent person. I'm looking at your priors and it appears to me that you are a violent person, sir.
So
Now,
I cut those.
the interim report, the complaint in this case, and it means that you're a violent person. So don't tell me that. Bond is set in the amount of $20,000. Your next court date is November 21st at 1:30, and the public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Watson,
I missed the first part of that name.
it's Melinda Watson.
Watson, okay, thank you. Okay, you are charged with possession of a narcotic drug and with possession of drug paraphernalia. will order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't go back to the location of the alleged incident. And the county attorney is asking me to hold you on a $10,000 bond with hotel services supervision if posted. We'll hear from the defendant.
Your Honor, she's lived in Tucson for 14 years and has ties to the community. Pretrial services verified with her roommate that she does have housing. The roommate also indicated that they can provide transportation to court. She is connected with La Frontera for behavioral health. Her husband recently died. She's been having a tough time with that. She would like to be released to pretrial services. I would ask that the court release her to pretrial services, or if the court is inclined to impose a bond, that it be $2,000.
Hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, she's got 5 prior felony convictions. Some of them are for similar substance-related offenses. Her history includes parole and probation violations. And just based on the nature of the offenses, or the offense, that's why we're requesting the $10,000 bond.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $2,500. November 11th, 1:30 is your court date. The public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. 1 second. There you go.
Your Honor, you said November 11th?
November 21st.
Okay.
I say the 11th?
Yeah, you did, Judge.
Okay, that's today. Okay. The 21st. Thank you. All right, everyone enjoy the rest of your holiday.
You as well, Your Honor. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.